one-on-one streaming on Google Hangouts.
Google Hangout, yep.
So,
hello.
Yeah.
Big cough.
I'm playing some Mad Max because MGTOW 101's Australian, so I figured it was appropriate.
This is it. That's a cool game. I saw my friend actually playing it, but I need to.
The color's messed up again. Not really sure why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'm on your Twitch, twitch.tv/tfmonkey.
Yeah.
It's still got that please stand by screen. Is that right?
Oh, there's a 10-second delay. Is it up now? Or is it still?
No.
What?
You got one person in cup.
Oh no, I see it. Try refreshing.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
That looks.
My colors.
That looks. Really?
Oh wow. Yeah, it's all dark.
The broadcaster indicated the channel is intended for mature audiences.
Yeah.
Start watching.
Well, because you can't monetize it, so.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Oh, there's a delay.
Yeah, just go ahead and mute it so the audio doesn't catch. Anyway, we can talk. I can walk and chew gum.
Sounds good.
Anyway, so congratulations on your 40,000 subscribers.
Thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you very much. It took 8 months to get there, but I think it's literally in November I started getting a lot more views and subs.
So what was it? Like, what do you think? What was the turning point? Were there any like instances where you saw things really take off?
Hey, dude, I'm hearing double up.
You're hearing what?
I'm like, it keeps repeating. There's like the delay.
Oh, you need to close down my close the Twitch tab, because what you're doing is you're hearing the Twitch, and you're probably
That's better. That's better.
No, I made that mistake once. I was doing a podcast with Distributist. It was like kind of a debate, and I had the stream going on in a tab, so I kept hearing my own voice, and it was really messing me up.
Okay. Yep. That's better now.
Okay.
All right. Back to it. Where were we?
There we go. I was just asking you, like, I haven't played this game in a while. I was just asking, were there any instances that really like kind of turned your channel around? Like, because you've only been around for 8 months and you already have 40,000 subscribers, which is pretty crazy.
Well, you know what it is? I was looking at my Google Analytics, and in November, that's pretty much when all my views started skyrocketing. So I went something from like 500,000 per month to just over 1 million, and then it just kept going after that. Now I'm up to like 5 million, which is freaking unbelievable. I never expected it. But what I think turned my channel around was doing all those like Mark Rudolph videos, just editing all these different memes to news segments. I think a lot of people I guess people can relate to that, and they just find that content almost like, I don't know, like very easy to understand and to relate, and just to see the humor in it.
Right.
And that's where my channel started just growing faster and faster. And then before that I was getting like maybe 70 to 100 subs a day, and then afterwards it just started going through like 200, 300 sometimes. I think the biggest I got was something like 1,000 subscribers in one day, which was absolutely crazy. Now it's sort of leveled again to about 200, 300, 400 subs a day, so which is great. So I hope it keeps going that way. That's
that's insane. Like when I started my channel, it was like, I don't know, the idea of anyone other than Sandman having any significant kind of subscriber count was pretty unheard of. Like my goal was like 500 subscribers in 6 months.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking I was gonna be like this big channel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even like after a year, I think I maybe had 20,000 my first year, so that's pretty good.
Well, because when I started my channel, I was kind of copying Sandman because like his style where he would put up photos and just talk in the background. So I was doing a lot of that. If you look at my the first probably 10 videos, it's very similar to his, and I was actually even copying the way he was speaking, which was quite funny. But I found it quite easy to do, because when you're reading from the script, and if you do that, what's the thing that you call that Sandman does when he talks? Inflection on the end.
Oh yeah, what's kind of like his
Yeah,
his like radio announcer voice.
That's right. That's right. When I was doing the same thing, it actually, like, if you're reading from the script, you can be monotone and you don't actually stuff up the way you pronounce things. So it's very easy for you to do it pretty much all in one hit, the recording. Whereas if you try and sort of put like different emphasis, and you try and sort of make I don't know, more human-like. If you try and sort of do it that way, then you have to you stumble, and there's a lot more errors. So I think now I understood back then why actually Sandman does it, because it's just easier and quicker for you to record it using that monotone type of approach with those inflections. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I used to. If you watch like my old videos, I used to script my videos. The problem was I'd have to write the script, edit the script. I was basically writing an article, whereas if I was just a blogger, I would be done at that point. But then after I wrote the script, I'd have to record the audio, edit the audio. So I would be maybe do one video a week if I was lucky. And so, like, back in the day, I used to write for Barbarossa's blog, The Shedding of the Ego, which is an excellent blog, by the way. He just published an article today for people who are like, Barbarossa's gone. No, he's still around. He's just doing his blog and he's writing his book. He's just not making as much YouTube videos. But I used to write for his blog because I used my scripts as the basis for articles, and then I would record the video. But, like, I wanted to make more videos because I wasn't getting paid for the Shedding of the Ego stuff. So I figured, like, I'm gonna do something that, you know, focus on making more videos. But then I didn't have time to script everything. So then I went to semi-scripted, which basically I had a rough idea of what I wanted to say, and I'd make a note of some like links and some points I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget making. But other than that, I would just speak from the heart. And I found that, like, my videos, I have a more of a conversational tone. And also, I actually just can make more videos. The only problem is a lot of times I'll start a rant that won't go anywhere. So then I'll have to, like, go back and edit the audio. So I do more audio editing because I have to cut out the ums, the ahs, the dead silences, the rants that didn't go anywhere.
Exactly. I know what you mean. Those things are freaking annoying. And I think the more practice you have to speaking, you know, with podcasts, you can sort of control your ums and ahs. But if you are quite new to it, it gets really to the point where you're listening back to your recording and it just sounds so crap because there's so many ums and ahs. And I mean, many other people probably don't even notice it, but when you're listening to your own voice, it kind of sort of highlights all the all the bad things that you're trying to avoid. If you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, someone's asked about the colors. So the colors are off. It's something to do with OBS. They look fine on my monitor, but I can tell in OBS they're washed out. I'm not really sure why that is. It's just it's happened with some games. I tried playing Deadpool the other day, and the same thing happened with that. So I'm not really sure if it's some kind of rendering issue, but it is what it is. But you can still kind of see what's going on. It gives it more of a like a Sin City vibe.
I've closed my tab off, so I can't even see what.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine.
That's right. Yeah. So I guess so. Do you think some MGTOW creators are moving away from YouTube and just sort of exploring other avenues, like you said yourself, writing books and blogs?
Well, the MGTOW community, I'm actually working on a video series called the Red Pill Grief Cycle. And I've talked about similar issues in the past. Basically, what's going to happen is different men, when they come to MGTOW, they're going to come for different reasons. And eventually, they're going to find out that like they have everything they want, and then they have to make the choice of what are they going to do now. And for some people, that path will take them somewhere other than. Why can't I go through this? Oh, there we go. Their path is going to take them away from the community. Like they're going to get everything they need, and unless they really enjoy watching MGTOW videos, they're going to decide that there's nothing left for them to learn, and then they're gonna vanish. They're gonna drop out, and that doesn't mean they've went back to pussy. It doesn't mean they've, whatever. It just means like they've taken everything they can from the community. They've learned everything they're going to learn, and now they've decided they're going to go somewhere else, and they're going to live their life. And I actually think that is I call that into the wasteland. And it's where you just, as a MGTOW, you have to decide what you're going to do with your life. And maybe that involves making videos and content and trying to bring other men into the light. Sometimes that may mean something else. It's for every man to decide for himself. So sometimes a channel will produce a lot of content, and then they'll just disappear. And it's not because they've lost their way or took the blue pill. Man, I can't see shit. Like I'm looking at my OBS. So dark, I can't see anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and sort of navigate to it without sound and see what the hell's going on.
Oh no, it's fine. But I have to look away because I have two monitors, so I'm looking at my second monitor where the game is actually being played. Actually, see where I'm going.
Yep. TF. I love it. You put in turd into what do you call it? The YouTube search, and you're straight away bang.
There you go. I'm the top turd.
The top turd. How did you come up with this name?
One of my old aliases was Turd Ferguson, the little character from SNL.
Yep.
So I just kind of to keep the initials consistent.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I used a bunch of aliases. So.
Yep. So you always been a big gamer, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like I've never been on a pro team or anything. Jeez, I don't know where to go.
Which game is this? This
is Mad Max.
That is Mad Max. It looks a bit
yeah. Because the colors are washed out.
Oh, okay.
Or I could try to. You know what? Let me see if I can. Something when I started it over, it fixed itself. So let me see if it. Basically, if it plays a cutscene, it fixes. But let me see if I could do that.
Okay. Did you stop it?
Yeah, I'm going back to the main menu. Let me see if I can fix the color.
Yep.
We'll start a new game.
All right, cool. Technical difficulties all over tonight, huh? With us.
Right.
Started with me. I think I've given you the bad luck now.
No, it's something wrong with OBS. I'll have to research it to see what the issue is. But anyway, so while this cutscene is playing, we can actually just talk.
Yep.
So, like Dark Knight, Nico Chosky, they both shut their channels down. And I really miss them because they served a function in what I call the Red Pill Grief Cycle. Like you have the first two phases of the Red Pill Grief Cycle, which is like denial and Red Pill Rage. At that stage, what you really need is information. And that's where channels like Sandman, yourself, sorry, I won't. Even Angry MGTOW, because you guys put out information. You basically are educating men about reality. Because when you're first exposed to the red pill, your human nature is going to cause you to deny it. You're not going to want to accept the truth in front of you. It's almost like are you familiar with H.P. Lovecraft and the cosmic horror genre?
Cosmic horror genre? No, go on.
Okay, so it's like Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that. So in cosmic horror, when a human being is exposed to things they just can't comprehend, things that go against everything they know, they just reject it. The mind can't process something that's so different. So they just reject it. They rationalize it away. Even if the evidence is right in front of them, they're looking at something they can't explain, they'll just rationalize it away.
Yep.
And Barbarossa just did an article talking about this guy who was running a wrestling camp for women. And so the women would come to lose weight, and he kind of ran it like a military compound type of thing to help them lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And so these women were like, basically they cried to the police about being abused, and he was arrested for being a cult leader. And all the women who were involved in it were basically everything, all their complicity and all their agency was taken away, and everything was put on the man.
Mm-hmm.
Because women have no agency when they do anything bad.
That's right. It wasn't their fault.
Right. So, but that's, and the reason why they do that, they don't do that consciously. They're not like, wow, these women are terrible, but I'm hypergamous, or I'm a gynocentric, so I'm not going to acknowledge that. It's all subconscious. They believe in gynocentrism. It's been beaten into them since they were children. And so when they run into evidence that contradicts gynocentrism, they have to rationalize it away.
No, that's very true. I've seen, actually, there was something similar in Australia where this guy was actually, I think, living in northern Queensland, and he had something like, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 women living with him, and they were living off the government benefits, things like that. So he created his own kind of harem type of setup, and yeah, it was quite bizarre. So, and they seem to stay around for a bit, but then eventually, I think most women kind of got bored with the living arrangements, and they ended up dumping him. And I think he ended up in jail or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. So, like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So the colors still aren't correcting. So I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. I may have to play a different game.
That's right.
But anyway, the point is, so when a gynocentric person who's been born into gynocentrism is exposed to the red pill, they want to reject it. They will reject it if you give them any out where their brain, any kind of escape path where their brain can go, they will take that path to avoid acknowledging gynocentrism. So this is where you, Sandman, Angry MGTOW come in. You guys provide information, overwhelming information. You just keep diluting them with truth until they finally can't deny it anymore.
Yep.
And that's when the rage starts. Then when they acknowledge that, oh my gosh, like I've been lied to my whole life. Everything I knew was a lie.
Yep.
Okay, now the color works. So
okay, good.
There we go.
Good.
Anyway, so in the red pill rage and in the in denial phase, what people need is information. Now, after the red pill rage, guys get really depressed. I call this the valley of suicide, because this is where a man has to make a choice, because you can see the end of the road. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but at the light of, some people don't want self-actualization and male sovereignty. They want to go back. They're like Cypher. They want to go back into the Matrix. They don't want to be free. Fuck, now the color's back. The color's fucked again. All right, I'm sorry, guys. We're just going to have to deal with... I'll play in... It's fine. Anyway. So...
Yep.
So in that second phase, in the depression, suicide phase, what men really need most is emotional support. And there's two channels I highly recommend. This is Spetsnaz and Messenger Rising. Now, I would include Dark Knight and...
Sorry, that guy doesn't like me.
No.
I'll quickly explain something. He took my video completely out of context. You know the computer voice that I use?
Which one?
With the English accent, yeah, the Daniel guy.
The text-to-speech software?
That's right, text-to-speech software. Anyway, there was a video where it was about this woman who was married to her husband, and she ended up going off and cheating on him while they were still technically married, but they were separated. So she ended up getting pregnant, and then that guy had to literally pay for another guy's child. So I made a joke. Yeah, I made a joke saying, "Holy shit, fuck boys! You just go out and fuck married women, and you don't even have to worry about raising your own kid." And that guy, he took me completely out of context. I would never advocate for guys to go off and, fuck married women so they can get pregnant. That's one of the worst things a MGTOW he would never
Oh,
tell
well,
people.
you can't
So,
tell, but if you're just a voice, the thing is
yeah,
the way people detect sarcasm is
yep,
usually inflection or facial features. And if you're just a voice on the internet, or if you're using text to speech software, there's literally no way for them to detect sarcasm. And because
yep,
you don't know, unless you know somebody personally, that they would never actually believe that. I mean, sometimes I read a comment and I just assume the guy's trolling and he's sarcastic because he's so stupid. And then when I move forward, assuming he's being sarcastic, I find out no, he actually does believe that.
yep.
So when you spend enough time on the internet, you realize there actually are people that stupid. So you don't know. But
Exactly. Yeah.
I actually, someone sent me that link. Basically, the statute of limitations was only 2 years, and he didn't question the paternity until 3 years. So the court said, even though you're not the father, you still have to pay child support, which is bullshit because it's like there's no like what's the statute of limitations on a woman, filing a false rape claim? Like look at Bill Cosby. They destroyed his career decades after the supposed incident. But this guy has to pay child support on a kid because he didn't question the parentage in the first 2 years.
No, it's crazy. It's just, and I mean, many different countries actually make it illegal for parents, for fathers to actually find out whether the child is theirs. So
right, because if men in mass started questioning their parentage of their children and got out of paying child support, all those women would immediately go on welfare. And the government just doesn't have the money to support all these women on welfare. So it's really just like the lesser of two evils. Like the government can't afford it.
No,
so
you're right.
They'd rather just throw these men under the bus so that somebody's providing for them. And that's all they really care about.
And yeah, I mean, it wasn't always like this, wasn't it? It's just recently with the rise of feminism, that's when the whole thing sort of turned itself around.
Well, no, it was more about. Hold on, I'm trying not to fall off this cliff. So before, like women were actually held to some sort of standard. So like if a woman was a whore and had a kid out of wedlock, the family was shamed, the woman was shamed, and like the family would often take the woman like into the country. Like, oh, we're going to go on vacation for the country. And she would stay in the country until she had the child. They give the child up for adoption. And only then would she come back. And then she just pretended she was in the country for a few months. Like, she'd never actually say that, oh, no, I actually had a bastard kid and left it at an orphanage. Because there was actually shame in what she did. But now all these single moms have these bastard kids and just like, where's my government money? Give me my money. My baby's daddy's got to pay my bills. And there's just this entitlement. And then even when they trap a man with a baby, even when they blatantly lie, sperm jack a man, there's cases, and it's not just one case, it's numerous cases. It's precedent. Woman can rape a boy 13 years old, get pregnant, wait until her rape victim is 18, put him on child support, and be awarded child support.
Like,
exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Just, rape a boy, wait till he's 18, and put him on child support. And the court's like, sounds legit. Let's just put this boy on child support.
And that's how it is.
Anyway, so I got sidetracked. So the you need the emotional support during the kind of valley of suicide phase, and then once you get past the kind of depression, suicide, then that's where brotherhood and self-actualization comes in, and then you need mentorship. You need someone to kind of show you how to fill that void, because the reason for the red pill rage, I believe, and maybe there might be multiple reasons for the red pill rage, but for me anyway, it was the loss of that dream, that goal, that purpose. When a man's raised like, I'm going to be a husband and a father, and I'm going to do these great things, and I'm going to have a little family. That's like your dream. That's what you kind of prepare yourself for as a child and as a young man. And then when you know that that's gone, you get mad. And then you have to have something to fill that void. And that's where self-actualization, brotherhood, mentorship comes in. So then you have channels like Marcus, Stardust, Coltane, Barbarossa. Now, a lot of them, it's not necessarily mentoring you as in be like me, but it's just them doing their thing, finding happiness in something other than being a husband, father, utility, And then if that resonates with you, like if you watch Stardust and Coltane videos and you really like that they explore human nature and trying to understand how the human ape works, as they call it, and if that resonates with you, you can make that your thing. Like, you know what? I want to dedicate my life to the pursuit of knowledge and understanding.
Yep.
Or if another channel like Marcus, he talks about philosophy, maybe that resonates with you.
Yep, exactly.
So
that's
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I think this is where I guess my channel becomes sort of like the gateway to MGTOW, because
you're in the information stage.
Exactly. I mean, seriously, I got 5 million views over the last 30 days. Can somebody else? I mean, Sandman's going up quite high as well at the moment. He's averaging, I think, just over 2 million. But seriously, 5 million views. That's a lot of people that were exposed to my content and MGTOW, in general. You know what I mean? And then once they see my stuff, I get so many guys just asking, "What is MGTOW? Can you tell me more about MGTOW?" It's
right, exactly.
And then I explain it to them, and then they say, "Oh my God, I've been MGTOW for the last 4 or 5 years of my life. I didn't even know it." And then they start searching around. They come across your channel. They come across Marcus's channel. They come across all this other, like Baba, and that's pretty much how they grow themselves and
right, exactly,
wrap themselves around MGTOW. Yeah. So I think we all have a purpose. Yeah.
Somebody asked who the other guy was. So this is MGTOW 101. Maybe you've heard of him. But so here's what I see. There's a lot of infighting in MGTOW because people don't appreciate where these other aspects of the community fit in. So that's where I think the red pill grief cycle comes in, because people who are in the kind of mentorship or emotional support kind of path of MGTOW, they look at channels like you, Sandman, Angry MGTOW, who provide information to the masses, not necessarily emotional support or mentorship. You're just putting out information, trying to wake people up. They look down on those channels because they think that you're not helping men self-actualize. You're not helping men reach this higher plane, which you're not. But that's not your purpose. Every channel has a purpose, and thing is, if somebody isn't woken up in the first place, they're not going to self-actualize at all. So you need somebody out there to kind of wake people up in the first place so that they get to that point where their mind is open, and then they reject gynocentrism, and then they can fill that void with self-actualization. But you can't just go from A to Z in one jump. You have to go through the steps.
Exactly. It's like, you need to learn how to crawl before you can walk and before you can run. So I never said that my content is, philosophical or anything like that. I shock people into saying, hey man, wake the fuck up. This is what's happening around you. If you don't act and if you don't wake up today, this is what's going to happen to you. And then it's up to them to either take the red pill or continue with the blue. So that's, I think, shocking people is probably one of the better ways to wake them up and to see what the hell's going on around them. And so then look, if they're, I mean, come on, how many guys who are like 18, 15, 16, even 21, 22 years old, how many guys are going to sit down and listen to like an hour worth of Stardust or, Barbarossa or even Marcus's channel? Not many guys are going to be interested in it unless they're specifically already interested in that type of content. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. And the thing is, it's very difficult for you. Sorry, I'm all tongue-tied. All right, have you ever watched an old show that you really loved from like the 80s or 90s, and then when you watch it today, you realize how terrible it is? But at the time, you thought it was awesome.
Yep.
And at the same time, there were shows that you like now that if you were to show them to a child, they would find them incredibly boring.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's the same kind of concept. There's going to be things where you can't appreciate at the time because of where you are in your own journey. So the important thing is not to look down on those channels, people like you or Sandman, as somehow inferior. You're just catering to a different audience. And there's nothing wrong with that, because without one, you're very unlikely to get the other. And I understand there's a concern about diluting MGTOW philosophy, because if you're just sharing Mark Rudolph quotes and memes, you're not really spreading MGTOW philosophy, but you are you're putting a bug in their ear. You're planting the seed.
That's right. Yep.
And it's not like that's all you do. You do do talk about female nature. You have your, and I understand you have a full-time job, and that's why you can't do these videos all the time. But you do videos where you talk and you explain MGTOW philosophy and female nature and all that other stuff. But then you sprinkle in the memes and the Mark Rudolph clips as kind of like a way to just reach a broader audience. Because it's almost like it's a numbers game. Like if you're in sales, you know, you approach 100 people, maybe 10 of them will actually hear you out. Maybe only 2 will actually buy. But you have to reach 100 people to get to those 2. If you just try to find the 2 without bothering the other 98, you're not gonna sell anything.
No, you're right. Exactly. It's like, I mean, just as an example, I'm going to look at my top videos. This is just for. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. I'm just trying to show other people that this is the type of videos that get the most views on my channel anyway. So the first one, it's women get a taste of gender equality and hate it. It's remember that chick? What's her name? She was. I forgot her name now. Anyway, she was married to this guy, and she was well off. So she was making money. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video. So yeah, she had to basically. She was the one making money.
Yeah,
and the husband was. And the court said you have to pay alimony because your husband was financially dependent on you. And women are like, what?
No.
I have vagina. I shouldn't have to pay money.
Exactly right. So
my vagina needs money.
My vagina, give me money. Yeah, so she had to pay him out.
It kind of looks like, well, you know when you open a wallet, it looks like a vagina. Coincidence?
Yeah, right. That's so true. That's so true. Oh god. Well, yeah, exactly. No, that's a great way to put it. And that video got literally, that was uploaded 5 months ago in August, and that's nearly got 1.48 million views. So I never expected that video to. Yeah, it's the first one that reached over 1 million views on my channel. So it's the only one.
Yeah, my best video that has the most views is my my video about male sex drive, and it's only got like 200,000. That's like my highest video.
You never know. See, I've got no idea which video is gonna take off.
Yeah, me neither. Well, that video about male sex drive was part of like a 6-part series, and the other parts got like maybe 10,000 views. But then it's crazy.
It's yeah. I mean, even as much as I don't like that guy, Casey Neistat, I think they did an interview with him, and that guy gets easily, you know, between 5 and 10 million views to his videos. And he said himself, I don't know how to create that viral video. I just do it, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. But he's got so many subscribers, so.
Well, anyway. He's got troll doll face, so that's really helps.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, the second video, it's
that nostalgia.
Oh man, I don't want to get into it. I'll probably say some things I might regret later about it.
No, I mean, you look at him smile. He looks like one of those little troll dolls with a little jewel in their belly.
You are so fucking right. You are so right. And even his hairstyle is like a troll.
Yeah,
doll.
He just needs to kind of spike his hair up, put a little jewel in his belly, walk around shirtless.
You know what? I reckon he's full of shit. Like the way he got to his fame, like he was living in a trailer and he had a kid when he was like 18 or something. How the fuck did he become this multi-millionaire, successful cameraman, producer, working with Hillary Clinton? It doesn't make sense.
But doesn't he like, he's an audiovisual kind of guy? Well, yeah.
No, he's got rich parents. They're property developers, so they obviously are he comes from a wealthy Jewish family, so he's connected.
The Jews.
I mean, no, that's well, look, they have a lot of influence, they have a lot of power in that sense, so, and that's fine.
Well, anyone with money has power.
Well, that's true. Exactly. But speaking of Jewish and anti-Semitism, whatever, the second video, which is most popular on my channel, which I uploaded literally 3 weeks ago, was the Morgan Freeman silence is the, and I named it the Jewish social justice warrior, because that Mike Wallace guy goes, "Oh, tell me about the Black History Month." You know that one?
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that's a famous one.
Yep. And literally, I remember watching it. I think Rec Feminist Videos had it on his channel about 6 or 8 months ago. And I think his one is a little bit shorter than mine, but I took this one, added some bunch of my own stuff, and yeah, it exploded because people just obviously liked the video so much that they got heaps of likes, and YouTube obviously decided to push it.
Yeah.
And that got 717,000 views, which is
Holy shit.
Good for me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Exactly. So that's another one. Obviously, that's not my content at all.
Right.
I just
yeah, exactly. So you have a Morgan Freeman thing, and you have this other video, which nothing to do with MGTOW really. It's just kind of like a
nothing to do with MGTOW. Yep. It's
more of just
exactly
kind of general.
Yep. You know what's the thing is, what's great about YouTube and having a channel on YouTube, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Like if tomorrow you wake up and you're going to say, I'm going to talk about bacterial infections and men. You can slap on a MGTOW label on it and say, oh, men get affected with bacterial infections if they sleep with women, whatever. And then you can just go off on your own tangent and talk about whatever. It's such a great opportunity to essentially just talk about what interests you. And who gives a fuck if you want to talk about this topic? It's your own channel. You're a MGTOW, so you're going your own way, so you do things your way. And that's what's great about YouTube, you know what I mean? You can just push whatever you want onto your viewers and subscribers.
Well, and this is why, like, if you notice on my channel, I do different shows. Like, I have my TFM news show, I have my MGTOW stuff, I have my reviews, I have my podcast, and they all have different formats. They all have different thumbnail kind of formats. And the idea is I run it like an actual channel. Because, like, if you think of a channel like NBC, not every show is the same. You have different shows that appeal to different people. Not everybody has to like every show. But the point is, they're all things I like. They're all things I enjoy doing and I enjoy making. So I figure, like, and my bread and butter videos are like my MGTOW videos. Like, if you look at my my podcasts, my reviews, like when I do a review, I actually lose subscribers. So, but the point is I enjoy it, and that's really all that matters.
Do you still do sex toys?
I don't. Well, I haven't done one of them. Well, because Amazon updated their terms of service in November of 2016, and now companies can no longer pay people to give reviews.
Yep.
So even if they're honest reviews, like my reviews were completely honest. I wasn't like, oh, give me money and I'll tell them how great your dildo is. I would only give a good review if it deserved it. Or if it didn't deserve it, I would, talk about why you shouldn't get it or what would be better. Like there was one video where it was like a cock ring. And I said, this cock ring sucks. Get this cock ring. And I promoted a cock ring I'd reviewed previously. When the company that paid me to do that review, I was telling everyone how much their cock ring sucked.
Okay.
Whatever. They didn't call me back. But
we got Bearing in the chat. He just called us cunts.
is it really Bearing though? Because how people want to cash in on people's internet fame. And they'll pretend to be like a well-known e-celebrity to try to get.
He used the magic word. He said
everyone knows that's his catchphrase. Everybody knows his catchphrase is cunt.
I love the cunt.
It's so funny how in Australia, cunt isn't even a big word. Like in America, if you call a woman a cunt, it's like calling a black person the N-word. But But in Australia, if you call a black person an abo, which is just like an abbreviation of Aborigine, they flip their shit. But in America, if you said, would you call someone who's an Aborigine an abo for short? And they're like, yeah, what's the problem with that? It's an abbreviation. Nobody cares.
No, nobody gives a fuck.
We have these different cultures. Like one word can be the worst word ever, and then another culture speaking the same language.
That's right.
It's like it's not even a big deal. Like whatever. Fuck you, cunt. It's like, oh my
god. Bearing just said, fuck off, TFM. You just tested every one of those dildos.
Actually, what? I'm actually mad about that because I had a strict no dildo policy, right?
Yep.
But I was curious whether, because people, milk the prostate. It's the best thing ever. I'm like, you know what? I'll explore this. And it's not gay if you stick things in your own butt. Okay, it's not gay.
That's true.
Because when you jerk off, it's a dude grabbing your junk. So if you think about that, that's just as gay.
You're jerking yourself around, literally.
Right. You're letting a dude touch your penis. That's gay. Anyway, so I didn't want to. So anyway, so they had this thing called like a prostate massager thing, and it looked like I said it looked like a Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't a dildo. I'll try this. So I tried it, and it didn't work. Whatever. And I actually found out why. I talked to one of my subscribers who's gay. In order for butt sex to feel good, or putting things in your butt to feel good, there's like something to do with your groin. And I actually had an operation on my groin when I was young, and that's why nothing feels good. So it's like anti-gay surgery. Just you operate on a kid's groin when he's a baby, and he won't enjoy butt sex.
Yep.
Just life hack.
Look, well, we all respond different to different things. Like I remember Angry MGTOW talking to Bering about the way he gets off. So Angry MGTOW likes looking at what is it, hentai?
Anime porn.
Like, I mean, I see the fun in it, but personally, I could never sort of masturbate to a cartoon myself. I need to see a real woman, like a real chick.
Yeah, well, for me, like I have to be able to place myself in the scene. Like I can't place myself in a cartoon.
Yep.
I can't look at a cartoon and be like, "Oh yeah, that's me. That's my hand-drawn penis fucking that chick." Like it doesn't work. Like I'm not a cartoon character. I'm a character, but I'm not a cartoon character. So that's why like I like POV porn or VR porn, where I can like place myself in the scene. I can't place myself in the scene of a cartoon, especially if it's like a tentacle.
Yep. Oh man, I saw that shit. That's just like, what the fuck.
Well, it's because of Japanese censorship. Like they can't show undigitized penises, so they use tentacles. It's like a stand-in to get around the censorship.
Because they blur out a lot of pornography in Japan.
It's weird. They have a huge like hentai porn culture, but they can't show genitals.
It's freaking weird. But look, it's obviously it's harmless. We all respond to different things. I mean, it's there are freaking murderers out there that get off on just choking someone to death. So that's how they get off. So obviously, people watching anime, whatever, it's okay. It's their thing. They're not harming anyone.
There are people with all kinds of fetishes. There are people who like getting peed on, and they like dressing up as babies and getting spanked.
Oh, there was I don't know if you guys watch H3. It's one of the popular channels out there. They had they found this channel that literally had these little like baby dolls, and this fucking guy he was like throwing syringes at these baby dolls, and it was like creepy sounds. He was like a pedophile for sure. I don't know if the channel got shut down or not. I would have definitely shut down if I was working for YouTube, because that was just weird. And yeah, it just shows you how why the fuck would you have that on your channel? Seriously, I mean, they say that MGTOWs they're not interested in women, they're gay, whatever. I talk about women every fucking day because I find women interesting and fascinating. That's why I keep talking about them. And obviously, trying to warn other men not to get married, or if you're thinking about a lot of stuff. But it's like
you're the information. That's your space. Like again, you're waking men up. You have to talk about women now. And this is the thing. Like MGTOW, who are in the emotional support. Like if you listen to a Spetsnaz video, he doesn't really talk about women that much. He talks about men's emotional needs, male pain, male shame. He talks about men because he's in a different space. He's not trying to wake up men to the red pill. He's trying to help men who have discovered the red pill and are in a fragile emotional state. So every channel has like their niche, their goal, kind of like what the people they're trying to reach, and what they're trying to do with their channel and what audience they're trying to reach. And there's nothing wrong. There's no right or wrong answer, because you need everyone. Like if all you do is put out information, like if there were only Sandman's, MGTOW 101s, and Angry MGTOW channels, that was MGTOW as a whole. Once people accepted the red pill and then they got through their anger, they wouldn't know what to do. Like, well, is this all there is? What more is there to life? So that you need other channels like Spetsnaz and Messenger Rising to kind of add that emotional support. And then once people get over the depression and the suicide, then you need somebody to show them, okay, what do I fill this void with? So there's no like this is real MGTOW and this is fake MGTOW and I'm a real MGTOW and I'm a better MGTOW. It's all one, like, just like, it's a college professor better than a kindergarten teacher? No, they're just serving different groups. But you can't put a toddler in college, and you can't let a child not get any education their entire life and then expect them to do well in college. They have to go to kindergarten. They have to go to grade school. They have to eventually work their way up to college. So every teacher along the way is important because it gets them to that point where they can learn at the feet of the master. But they can't just jump from one to the other. And that's what people don't appreciate.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's man, you're quite a knowledgeable guy. I could talk to you all night about all this kind of stuff. It's just you're obviously well read. And actually, how did you sort of get your whole what's it called, PhD in in the real world? How did you?
No, I think a lot. That's really all it comes down to. Is I do what's called active meditation. So I do, like, when I clean or when I do yard work. Or sometimes when I go to my happy place when I'm at work, when I'm just doing something repetitive, I'll just think. And I'll just think about, like, questions. And if I have a question, I'll just look for the answer. So it's really not a matter of, like, there's a saying, I think it's from Rick and Morty, but I'm sure it's from somewhere else. School isn't a place for smart people.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
School is usually about repetition and regurgitation, memorization. It doesn't actually teach you how to think. So
you're right.
If you learn how to think, you can just teach yourself anything, because then you just have to know where to find the information. So if I wanted to learn an instrument, I would just find, like, a place that taught instrument, and I would just go there and learn an instrument. If I wanted to learn about, ancient French history, I would go learn ancient French history. I wouldn't need to pay someone thousands of dollars and go to school. I would just find the information, read the books, and learn it. So right. once you know how to learn, you just can satiate your curiosity. And there's never been more information available to the average person than now. Like, back in the day, you would have to, go to the library and pull out microfiche or something.
Yep. No, you're right. Exactly. It's the school punishes people when they fail, and the school discourages people to share their knowledge. Participating in, when you're doing an exam or a test, they actually penalize you if you try and sort of share information with your.
They discourage collaboration because they have to know what you know individually. Yeah. But the other thing is the entire school system is built around how girls learn.
Yeah, exactly. Not how men learn. Yeah. That's it. We like competition, and it's the other thing is it's how much you actually cram into your memory on the day, because I'll go back and then in the week afterwards I'll forget most of the stuff that I studied for the exam. So it's a stupid way of testing people. It's more of a theory type of approach rather than sort of practical side of things too. So.
Well, they've done tests where men do better on actual exams. Testing, men perform better because they can cram better and they can memorize short term better, but women do better with things like homework. So if you notice over the decades, they've de-emphasized formal test taking and emphasized homework. And then the dumbest thing is they take the results of these studies, quote unquote, where they show that girls get better grades than boys, even though they do worse on tests.
Yep.
But they get better grades overall because they do more homework. They're more consistent with their homework. And they use that as proof that women are smarter than men. It's like, no, you take a system that's completely geared to how women learn. Men are pulled down by the system and then drugged with ADHD medicine for being boys. And then you're like using that as somehow proof that men are smarter than women. No, absolutely not. That doesn't make any sense.
No, exactly. You've had that video where you're actually talking about comparing boys and girls, especially when they're younger, who's more intellectually ahead of the game, so to speak. And it's I guess that's what happens when and I mean, girls grow up a lot quicker than boys do, and.
Well, it's because girls start puberty first. Like, people are like, oh, it's so wonderful. Girls are so much smarter. They develop so much quicker. That's just a function of biology. It takes a lot more time to grow an oak than a mushroom.
Yep.
So, know, and when you compare post-pubescent, men and women, there's no comparison. But of course, when you compare 11 to 13-year-old boys and girls have this developmental advantage because they start puberty at 11. Boys don't start puberty until after 13. And what's funny is if you look at the way the ages are broken up, the first year where you're officially a teenager is 13, which is the year boys begin puberty. An 11-year-old isn't considered a teenager, but that's where girls begin puberty. So the way we break men end puberty at around age 18, 17, 18 is when boys exit puberty. So if you look at the way we think of who is an adult, who is a teenager, it's all based on men's development, not women's development.
Exactly. And
but nobody thinks about that. It's completely out of people's consciousness. It's like, eh. But you know, that's societies were built around what not benefited men exclusively, but they appreciated the fact that what benefited men benefited society because men are the foundation of society. And then somewhere along the lines, we got it in our head that, you know, everyone needed to be equal, even if they were clearly not equal. We needed to pretend everyone was equal, you know, and fuck the consequences. And if whenever there were inequalities, we had to blame some third party and not just nature. Because actually, I kind of just made this off comment on one of my videos recently that when feminists complain about patriarchy, they're just complaining about nature itself.
Yep.
Just replace the word patriarchy with nature. And their complaints, like the whole, like, think manspreading is the dumbest example. So men have balls between their legs. So we can't sit with our knees touching because our balls will get literally squished between our thighs. Women don't have balls between their legs. So women use this example of, what if I squished my boobs between my arms? Like, well, your boobs aren't between, if your boobs were on your armpit, you know, like if women's boobs were underneath their arm, you would see women walking around with their arms kind of stretched out horizontally, because they didn't want to squish their boobs under their armpits. Now, that wouldn't make any sense. That obviously would be an evolutionary disadvantage if women's boobs were under their armpits. But a man's balls are between their thighs, which is why men take a wider stance when they sit down. It's like, I'm sorry, I have balls. That's not going to change.
Man, it's so true.
I'm not going to relocate my balls to another part of my body.
Exactly.
Or actually, you know what? I put them on my chin. I'd have like a big, like the Goblin King from The Hobbit. I'd have a Goblin King beard. It's a big hairy ball sack. And then whenever I talk to someone, I just jiggle it.
Man, if I catch a train to work, and if I crossed my legs like women do, there's no hope in hell any chick or any guy could sit in front of me. Like, seriously. I stretch them out, and I just, because my balls are huge and I take up space.
Right?
It is bullshit.
It is what it is.
It's freaking bullshit. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Bering said he might join in with us. I think we were meant to set that up a while back anyway, so I think it might be a good opportunity. Okay. Then we'd have to get Angry Mick down here.
I'm still not 100% convinced that's the real Bering. I'm pretty sure that's just,
Nah, he's always up late. I've seen him before. He's because I think this is his full-time gig now, so he doesn't get to bed till late. Anyway,
it's past midnight in Australia, isn't it?
It's like nearly 2 a.m. Yeah.
So,
I gotta get up at 7.
Oh my god. Okay, we should probably wrap this up.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I've got some special things that will keep me going tomorrow. It's all good. I usually go to bed quite late anyway, so.
Oh man. Well, you know, like Callie, he's like a UK guy that I have on my stream a lot. He's on my stream a lot because he works nights.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, most people in Europe, like the reason why I've never done a podcast with Stardust or anything is because like our schedules are just too different. Like he's up and ready when I'm asleep and vice versa.
Yep. Are they from Europe? Yes, Stardust. Is he from Romania or something?
Yeah, Stardust is in Germany. No, no, he's not. He's in Germany. But like Marcus lives in Europe. Like it's really difficult for me to get with any European MGTOW to do a podcast.
Is Marcus in Europe? He sounds American.
He lives in Europe. That's what I thought. Like we were going to do a podcast together.
He sounds like you. Same accent.
Well, people think I'm Sandman too. Like thinking I'm Sandman's secret
Actually,
second channel.
Can you do Sandman's introduction?
Hi everyone. That's the best I can. Or no, I gotta do it deeper. Hi everyone, Sandman here. Today's video is brought to you by. I don't know. That's the best I can do.
All right, Han. Bearing's asking for the link. I'll just send it to him now. That was spot on, man.
Was it?
That was spot on. Hey everyone, Sandman here. Today's video is brought to you by Sam.
Well, it's,
all right.
You know, what are you gonna do? Okay, someone wants me to answer the chat. Let me pause this game and go through the chat.
What the fuck? Bearing, is it Bearing Bear? Shit. Australian.
Right.
Yep. There we go. Invite. I've just sent an invite to Bearing.
Okay, we'll get to the bottom of this mystery. See if he's the real Bearing.
All right, let's do it. I'm scared now.
That's okay. I'll be here for you.
All right, good. Hang on. We're such a fail cunts tonight with the technical shit. Go on.
All right. So someone asked for a list of the studies. I'm assuming you're meaning about. Oh yeah. About like male and female intelligence. I've done like 3 videos on it. So if you just Google "men are smarter than women, deal with it." The main one is by Richard Lynn, where he did a meta-analysis of different IQ studies looking at children age 7 to age 17. And what he found is prepubescent children, children from 7 to 11, there really was no significant difference in IQ. So boys and girls are basically interchangeable. But then that magical thing called puberty happens. So between 11 and 13, girls are smarter than boys by a small margin because they start puberty earlier. And from around 15 to 17, boys catch up. And then at 17, boys are smarter than girls. And it just takes off from there because that developmental advantage where girls begin puberty earlier than boys is a once-in-a-lifetime window. It's not like it happens again. So there's like that 2-year period where girls are temporarily smarter than boys. And then from that, after that, it's over. Then men take. There's no case where girls are smarter than boys, unless you're looking at children. And they do these studies. Like I've debunked these. Just, what was it? David Flynn. I get the Flynns and the Lynns mixed up. But there was this Flynn analysis. We're talking about the Flynn effect, and he was saying that women have higher IQs than men, and he based this on. It doesn't make any sense. He was looking at children, of course, but then he was also saying that girls are getting more intelligent at a faster rate than men. But that's because they're at the bottom. Like when you're at the bottom, of course, there's more room to improve.
Yeah, fuck
like
women. Fuck women.
Yeah, too.
Okay. All right. Confirmed. It's the real Bearing.
Oh, yeah, man. He rudely interrupted by the cunt himself.
I know. He had to.
What's going on?
No, was that it? Okay.
Oh shit.
Bearing, everyone.
Microphone just disconnected. Man, we've got so many fails, technical difficulties tonight.
Wow.
Hang on.
Well, no, I was talking to Cheeky. Yeah, you're fine. Well, like Cheeky Bastard is Australian too, and his internet was terrible. So
yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No,
yep.
right. So is this your 40,000 subscriber stream, MGTOW?
Yeah, it was. Well, not really. I've done the one before that, and then Turd Flinging Monkey decided to join in. So I thought, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna open up a new one, and this is just random talk. So yeah, that's we decided
talking about bitches and how fucked they are and shit. Is that what
exactly? Yeah. And masturbating to anime.
Yeah, nice.
You know, that was a real MGTOW shit.
Yeah, real MGTOW.
Yeah, cool.
That's right.
Well, isn't Angry MGTOW real MGTOW? He's a real MGTOW, isn't he? He's all right.
Yeah, well, the bar is very low. I mean, if you are anti-marriage and anti-gynocentrism, you're in the club. Everything beyond that, you bring in.
Hey, I heard the other day that someone I can't remember where I heard it, but someone was talking about married guys being MGTOW. Is that not a thing in your head? Is that not?
No, because marriage is fundamentally gynocentric. It's like the epitome of gynocentrism. You can't support now. If you're awakened while married, like you got married found the red pill and you're like, oh shit, what did I do? But now you got like this mess of kids, and if something happens, your life is fucked. You know, you gotta do the best you can with what you have. You have my sympathies.
But hang on a second. Can you only be MGTOW in that case if you go, nah, fuck this, I'm fucking leaving it all behind?
Well, you can internalize MGTOW philosophy, but you're fucked. Like you know, it's like waking up on a slave ship. Like there's nothing you can do. Your life is over. Like you can jump in the water and kill yourself.
No, but what I mean is, can you start a YouTube channel and call yourself MGTOW 102 and be like part of the club?
No, not if you're married. What I think you can do though is you can learn. Like I have married subscribers who appreciate my content, and the best you can do is take the knowledge that MGTOW offers, like the red pill and gynocentrism and hypergamy. And I've done videos where I talk about I've done a video called "Awaken While Married" and talking about marriage and divorce. You can take some of that knowledge and try to make the best you can with your situation. But if you are actively promoting marriage, if you're like a guy who's like, I'm MGTOW and MGTOW should get married and have families, it's like, are you retarded? Like, look at the laws. They're so skewed against men. Like, that's terrible advice.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I listen to your videos and have my finger on the volume button just in case the missus walks in.
What, sugar tits?
She doesn't think I'm a misogynist.
Oh shit! Exactly. No, but she Sugar Tits follows myself and Turd Flinging Monk as well, so she approves of the MGTOW content.
Well, just because they follow you doesn't mean they approve of you. They may just be following you so they get your response videos.
She likes it.
She might be hate watching. Yeah. No, she does like. She's a fan. I was only joking.
Well, here's the thing: is there's like I don't hate women at all. Like I've done a video called MGTOW Love Women. The thing is women aren't the problem. It's not like we have to lock women up in some laboratory and fool with their brains to turn them into, some kind of thing. Like women are fine the way they are. The problem is not women whatsoever. It's a society where women's needs are all that matter.
Yeah,
that's what gynocentrism is. It's not like people say, oh, it's just like feminist patriarchy. It's just a bunch of made up bullshit stuff MGTOW make up. No, like it's absolutely verifiable fact. Like if you look at the way women are treated in all respects of life, all that matters is their happiness.
And surely it's only a few decades away that fucking MGTOW will become dictator and women will be extinct anyway. So.
No, exactly. It's well, Bearing. Question for you: What do you think about marriage in this day and age, like the laws and shit like that? Seriously, would you
about marriage? What the laws surrounding marriage?
Yeah, in the West, for example, in Australia.
I think they're ridiculous. I get MGTOW's point. I understand why MGTOW exists, etc. I'm engaged, by the way, but I'm the sort of I've been engaged for fucking 5 years. I don't think we'll ever get married. We just did it to shut the fucking family up, kind of things. but no, tits is the same. We hate. We cringe at the thought of an actual wedding sort of thing. So it's more about that for us. But I mean, but having said that, I don't think it makes much of a difference anyway. Whether we were married or not. I mean, we've lived together for fucking 12 years. So in the eyes of the law, that essentially is marriage, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, in the eyes of the law,
de facto,
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you have de facto marriage. So you are married. Congratulations.
You're now.
Does that mean I can't be MGTOW?
No. Well, the problem is like, obviously animals don't need marriage and government and religion to have families. Yeah, that's really what everything's about. Like there's nothing, MGTOW is an anti-family. The problem is marriage just does not benefit men. It puts all the cards in the woman's hands to fuck over the man and gives him no recourse or way to protect himself.
Well, the way I see it, if you had a chick who wasn't contributing and bringing equal value to a relationship, then you'd fuck her off. I'd certainly fuck her off before two or 4 years or whatever was up. Before you become de factos in the eyes of the law.
Yeah.
But I mean, tits has contributed just as much as I have to our relationships.
It's like looking at my past relationships, because I was a pickup artist in my earlier days, so I've been surrounded by chicks all my life. Yeah, I was, and so
I thought all MGTOWs are fat virgins who've never been laid.
Exactly, that's a shame misconception. So, but looking back, like I had 1, 2, 3, 4 girlfriends, and like, I don't count the chicks that I've kissed or who I saw like for a few months. I don't count that. Looking back now,
so you had 4 long-term girlfriends.
Yeah. The first one, we were together for just over 4 years, and we didn't live together, which was the best decision ever, because we never got onto each other's nerves. And, you know, she was living like about an hour's drive from where I was. So that was great. Then her mum had some problems, so she basically had to devote herself to looking after her mum. And then the second girl, we were together for just over 5 years, and she moved in with me, and fuck, I was paying for most of the rent. I was paying for most of the bills. She was like, and yeah, I mean, she went to overseas once, and she got robbed, and basically I had to like give her a couple of grand here and there, and I never got that money back, you know. So man, yeah, exactly. So it's that's what happens in the kind of, a lot of guys out there, they seem to pay through their nose when it comes to relationships.
It can, and then to add insult to injury, then you've got half of them fucking jumping up and down about wage equality. For fuck's sake.
Exactly.
Well, that's been the law for decades. You can't legally pay a woman less for doing the same job. Women earn less because they do less. So their solution is to pay women more for less.
Yep.
Which makes no sense, because then no company is going to pay a woman more for doing less work. So then companies are going to stop hiring women. So they're going to pass a law saying you have to hire women. So then companies are going to just outsource their jobs. So you can't just pass laws, no matter how much your majority is and how much you want to win women over. The laws of economics will eventually win out.
You know, I was saying to Angry MGTOW the other day, actually, I'm surprised no one swung the whole spendings gap around on feminists. You know how I think it's about 85% of consumer spending is controlled by women.
Yeah, well, because men are working all the time. It's like men get in more car accidents because they're always working, and women control the domestic spending because they're the ones at home. Like they're the ones buying the furniture, picking out the new car, because you know the guys just are there to pay.
That's a great counterpoint to the fucking wage gap. You know, like, okay, we'll give you fucking wage equality. That's fine, but you've got to fucking you've got to even up the spending equality on the other side. So
a lot of these feminists are too fat and ugly to ever like have a husband to pay for them. That's really what a lot of feminism is about. Is
I can't get it.
Women, they need the government to be their daddy and their husband, because they're never going to attract a man for themselves.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
about those ANZ commercials, Bering? You've done that.
They make me sick. They are ridiculous, aren't they?
Man, I was standing on a train platform going home from work, and I saw that fucking thing right in front of me, and all these like hundreds of people standing next to me, and I just felt like saying fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Well, how's this? I actually got, because they did a campaign on fucking YouTube, and that actual video where I did the response to it, you know, calling it ridiculous. That their ad got played before my video that many fucking times. So it was like this ANZ ad, you know, fucking wage gap, poor women, right, and then it's me just taking it out of it. It's fucking funny.
I get shit
with Prager University. I did a Prager University response video, and then they played a Prager University ad.
Really?
Yeah, that's funny, because we can't choose what ads appear on our videos, and some people don't understand that. Man, you're advocating against feminism, and I had this feminism commercial on your video. What the fuck is up with that?
What the fuck? Like, that's Google, man.
Yeah,
they just send me
that's kind of centric society we live in. Fucking proof right there.
Yeah, you know what? As long as they're
centric society,
as long as their check's clear, they can play whatever they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd personally prefer that Google chooses what ads, because like imagine if you did get to choose and you chose a company that fucking fucked someone over or went bust or something. You know, it's going to sort of reflect on you. Whereas this way you can just say, well, I've got no choice.
Well, something I would appreciate is, you know how like they demonetize your video if like it's whatever, they don't like it. I would appreciate it if we were allowed to fund our own advertisers, so that we would have like some alternative to that. Like, yeah, you could take your advertisers away, and then you could have advertisers like, you know what, I don't want my stuff playing on anything that's controversial or political, or I want, you know.
Well, I suppose you can in the form of sponsorship, but I mean,
yeah, that's
you can't slot them into that AdSense system though.
Well, the problem with that is because I used to do product reviews for money, and then Amazon updated the terms of service where companies can't pay for reviews anymore, even if they're honest.
Yep.
So that just kind of cut me off at the knees there.
How did you work that anyway? Is this the sex toys thing you did?
Well, okay, so I did this video about male sex drive, and then like it got like 100,000 views, and then like a company just contacted me like, "Hey, you want some free sex toys for reviews?" I'm like, "You read my mind."
Yeah.
You had me at hello.
Yep.
And so, tell me, did they only send you one of every one?
One time, well, there were the penis extender sleeves where they insisted on sending me the entire collection. So I have like 6 penis extenders. So I just wore them on my fingers, and I called myself Dick Fingers.
So no, mate, what I was getting at though is so if they only sent you one of each thing, then it's confirmed that every sex review people have watched of you doing a sex review, you have definitely 100% fucked that toy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I
couldn't use it on yourself.
I couldn't give an honest review.
That's freaking funny shit. I did one sex toy review on my channel, and they demonetized it right away. So I said, "Fuck this shit.
Really?
That shit. I'm not wasting time on this." Yeah.
You didn't film yourself fucking it, did you?
Nah, it was. It was one of those one of those asses that you can literally bang with pussy attached to it as well. But yeah. It looks like a great toy, and there was no. I mean, it was plastic vagina, plastic ass, and they still demonetized it because it's inappropriate apparently. So.
No, they did that.
You got a free plastic fucking vagina and ass out of it. You can't.
They did that. They did that to my my Hobbit torso. They demonetized it because it was like a disembodied woman's torso. But I just challenged it, and it's like, you know what? If women can review dildos and vibrators, why can't I review a headless Hobbit torso?
Hobbit. Hang on. Did you say Hobbit?
Yeah,
Hobbit.
You mean Hobbit.
Nugget porn is the next sensation.
No, okay, so it's basically like, obviously sex toys can get expensive the bigger they are. So they made this like sex toy, and all it is the torso. Like there's no arms, legs, or head. It's just the boobs, the vagina, the stomach, like that area. But in order to save money, they made it small. So it's like it's the size of a hobbit. It's a hobbit torso. It's not like it's not a child. We're like, oh, it's kiddie porn. No, because it's got boobs, it's got pubic hair. It's definitely a woman, but it's like a hobbit woman. So
it wasn't like green or something. Like it wasn't like Shrek.
No, it wasn't like licensed by the Lord of the Rings. But I do call it Sam, in honor of Sam from Lord of the Rings.
Gamgee.
Yeah, it's short for it's short for Samantha.
Oh God, fucking out.
Very good.
No, I decided to stop doing that shit. If they demonetize videos, what's the point of it? Like, I uploaded a video last week where this drunk chick was trying to sit on this guy's face.
That was funny as fuck. That was so fucking funny.
Fucking, they demonetized it.
Yeah. I fucking lolled hard at that. That was fucking awesome.
Like, one time she bent over and I put the kitty cat so it blocks out her vagina. And they still demonetized it.
Where was that? What country was it in?
Happens.
I think it's Russian or Ukrainian.
Right. Yeah, she was adamant once. She's like, "No, you fucking get out. I'm sitting on your fucking face." And she did. She wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna sit on that face. She's a strong, independent woman, so not gonna take no for an answer.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny shit. So, hey, Baring, so you do this full time now? Yeah, you quit your day job.
Yeah. I've been doing it full time since March last year.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. See,
once you have, I mean, I've done calculations. Once you have about 100,000 subscribers, you could earn a living wage.
Well, I went full time at 85,000, I think. So that's about.
Oh, that's cool. Now, are you worried? Because this is something like I've thought about it. Even if I make good money on my channel, I'm not going to quit my job because my concern is it could get shut down for hate speech or something like that. And if I don't have any other form of income,
you could. That's right. I mean, it's about balancing. It's about balancing that cash, isn't it? I mean, if you've got an opportunity to earn extraordinary amounts of money. Then you can. Man,
I literally thought your channel was fucked, Baring. I thought your channel was going to disappear because
it looked a bit dicey there for a minute, but no, it wasn't too bad. They were actually quite reasonable to deal with. Most people are, man. There's not a lot of real cunts in the world that you know, vindictive and don't want to cooperate with you. I find.
Did you see my tribute video?
I saw that.
Tribute video.
There was a music thing. Yeah.
That day your channel was offline, I did a tribute video to you.
I think I might have. I don't recall it. What was?
Aaron, you gotta go and comment and like and do all sorts of shit.
Did I not comment on it? Did I not comment on it?
I don't think so. I don't know. It just played that rendition of "Dust in the Wind" from Old School.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's funny. You're my boy, Blue.
I was at work when I found out your channel got taken down. I'm like, fuck, I need to make a video about this. So I went out into this dodgy laneway, took my phone, and just started recording. And I would do that usually.
Went into the rape laneway.
The rape laneway, yeah. The MGTOW rape laneway.
Yeah, but no, look, it was a dumb thing to do. I mean, looking back at it, obviously, I shouldn't have fucking used a copyrighted image. That's for sure. But I mean, it's one of those things that you start a channel and. Like I started a channel thinking this will never be anything. This is just fun, you know. And there's no point. There's no alarm that goes off and says you better, you know, you're big now. You better consider this. Like you get swept up in it.
Right. Well, and I like how your supporters, like, they poured all this fan art into you. Like, hey, use my art. Use my art.
That's fucking cool.
That's cool as shit.
That's it. Man, I need to make up my own new avatar. I don't like this new one that I made. I need to make something better.
Don't use Noob Saibot for Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. No. Disney. Yeah.
No, like, you know, Noob Saibot, he's like the Shadow Ninja. You like to use silhouettes. Don't use Noob Saibot.
Your avatar is just the bloke with the boxing gloves, yeah?
Yeah, it's this guy that I blacked him out completely, and it's just the boxing glove. So I hope no fucking prick will report me for using it.
I'm pretty sure that would fall under like transformative work. So I think you'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you want to change it to? Why don't you like that one?
No, I like it. I think it's a little bit too rough because I did a quick job at work, so I need to create like a proper PNG file where it's all clear in the background, and see how that goes. I might just ask some guys if they want to help out. What else? And then sort of make up my own mind. Because you took a little bit of time choosing a different avatar, didn't you, Varying?
Yeah, I got a heap sent to me, but ultimately I got a bloke from I think Switzerland to a really good artist to draw mine, sort of you know, custom made, you know, to order. He's fucking cheap. I'll put you onto him if you like.
Okay.
He's a guy that he did Mr. Dapperton's one as well, if you know him.
Yep. Okay. Maybe send me a link afterwards. I'll check it out. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's fantastic.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What else? What else is happening in the fucking YouTube land?
No, I just have a quick question. So with the cartoon bear was obviously taken from Total Drama Island, but like when he was sitting on the couch, was that one? That was a redraw. So that was Sugar Tits had redrawn that. So I think it was. I did a video about it. I think it was like she did a bit of tracing of like the top of the head and that sort of thing, but like the facial expression, the entire body, you know, the fact that he was sitting on the chair and all that was the original was Sugar Tits type thing, and I thought, well, that's enough to sort of make it transformative, but apparently it doesn't work that way. It's, you know, it's if it can be recognized as the same character, then it fucking doesn't matter how much it's transformed. Well, yeah, like if you just take an existing character and put it in a different pose, that's not considered.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, you know, that's like a lawyer.
So it's not as if there's no effort put in type thing. We did put some in, but yeah, it wasn't enough at the end of the day. So.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, actually, having said that, we don't know that for sure because it didn't end up in court, did it? But I mean, we
alleged.
but we were happy to concede. Like we looked at it and studied the law a bit closer and thought, yeah, I think we're fucked here. We better start negotiating. So
did you lose monetization on all your old videos?
Well, they're all just privated. So I've actually got a guy, another guy from Switzerland, actually. He actually just took one of my old videos. He's one of these guys that, you know, those guys that fucking save all the videos they watch. They're really weird.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He had all my videos just on his hard drive, and so he started like converting them to my new avatar.
Oh, winner!
And he's done one, and he's done a fucking brilliant job. Like the way that all the expressions and the poses were, and all that, I thought that's exactly how I would have done it. So I got in touch with him and said, hey, listen, if I plug your channel a bit, and I watched his channel, he had his fucking shitty, scratchy fucking audio quality. So I bought him a Blue Yeti microphone, and
that's what I
and
use.
said,
because you need to. Yeah, you need to go back and edit all of those videos. If you can pay someone and get it done for free, and then fucking upload it all on your with the new avatar, you'll make all that money back and more. So
well, that's right. It's actually pretty easy money, because I mean they still get fucking good plays. I've done all the work making the videos. It's an opportunity to get a second release out of them. That's fucking
exactly. So it's even better for you. Man, I remember the fat bitch video. Who was it? Drink water. Oh, shit, disgusting. Have you seen that one? Turd Flinging Monkey?
That was the one.
Was that a TEDx talk?
Yeah, that was a
TEDx.
They tried to fucking. They did a false DMCA on me, and I beat the cunt.
Oh yeah.
And you know what's funny? Sorry, go on.
What's up? Well, there are big channels like Channel Awesome, the Nostalgia Critic. He like occasionally just re-uploads old videos just to kind of refresh his ad revenue. Yeah. So and that's not even legitimate. That's just him re-uploading old videos.
Like I was there yesterday.
So at least you're like updating the art, and I actually did a re-upload to celebrate my 2 years on YouTube. I took like my first series I made called 3 Kinds of Feminists, cleaned up the audio because it was terrible. I was recording with my cell phone, added some background music, and kind of re-released it as like a complete and remastered version.
Yeah, fucking hell. Out of interest, what are the 3 types of feminists?
You have the young liberal arts major, which is like these young naive girls who they were just brainwashed in school. They don't know how the real world works, but they're attractive, so they're put in the forefront of the feminist movement. But once they go out into the real world and realize they can get more from men by not being feminists than they can by being feminists, they quit being feminists. That's why a lot of anti-feminists are very attractive. And you look at like I know Shoe on Head isn't like the most well-liked girl in the MGTOW community, but she's attractive, and Blair White and stuff like that, like they're attractive girls. That's why they're anti-feminist.
That's a dude. There's a
you do know that's
Blair White.
I didn't know.
A guy, yeah. I mean, but I have to say, she looks attractive.
Didn't you know that? Didn't you fair dinkum know that?
Well, I've never watched the videos. I've just seen thumbnails. But if we went to prison together, I'd hit it.
Oh, granted, I'd hit it hard as well. I'm there, but fucking yeah, that's.
You can't make me laugh.
She's fucking hot, isn't she?
She looks alright. Like you look at all those tranny cunts, they look disgusting, but she's the only one that actually looks alright. I'm like, because I remember seeing this video where she's talking about like how men are ignored and men are like, there was like the class session and everyone was laughing at boys' problems. I'm like, fuck, this chick is alright.
Hey, dude. Would you suck her dick?
How much would you pay? Nah, that's drawing the line. That's drawing the line. Yep.
It's just like licking a big clit.
That's one way to look at it.
I had that once.
With balls. Yeah.
But hey, maybe she did the whole Thailand. She went there and done the whole trip. So to remove the voice box and the balls and the dick, and yeah. So
well, the thing is like she, whatever, was lucky to kind of be extremely effeminate. So because a lot of these transgendered people, like they look like men, like they have square jaw lines, broad shoulders, so they want to be transgendered, and they're clearly a man.
Yep.
Yeah, like, what about the one that wanted to be the 6-year-old fucking girl? Did you see that one?
Oh, that was a fucking dude and a half. Like seriously.
That's shit.
They were all angry.
I think he was a fucking. He was a fucking labourer, or like a builder's labourer or something before he went trans. Like really fucking hairy arms and shit.
There's a lot of videos of them just losing their shit, like that Ben Shapiro video where he's talking to the tranny, and that guy was like, "You're gonna go back home in an ambulance."
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's like these athletes like Bruce Jenner or like that tranny who's threatening Ben Shapiro. They're like athletic bodybuilders wearing cocktail dresses.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And high heels.
Exactly.
Well, it's like there was that transgendered, or I think it might have been a transsexual, who wanted to fight Ronda Rousey at UFC, and
What?
her quote unquote arms were like the size of her thighs.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's wrong.
It's
That's
like
fucking
you
wrong.
went through puberty as a man.
Gender equality.
Yeah, you had your dick cut off as an adult, but you went through puberty, all that testosterone grew your muscles. You would flatten her like a pancake. Like, that wouldn't be fair. Like, she'd go in there, it would be like a 2-hit fight. Just be like one punch on the ground.
And that's happening a lot, isn't it? Like, there was that in the last year there was that saga where they let, like, a school in, I think, Canada let a transgendered, like a male to female student in year 12 or year 11 or something, race in an athletics race, and they won it and won a scholarship. And the argument was, well, hang on a sec, what about the poor girl who was just sort of one off, getting a scholarship herself? Because there was a few scholarships, given out. And they make a really good point. Like, they actually interviewed this girl who missed out, because this ex-bloke beat her. That's pretty fucked up.
Well, there was a story from the Olympics a few years ago. I don't remember what year, about this guy who basically he got cut from the Olympic team. So he pretended to be a woman and basically won all the gold medals. He couldn't make the men's Olympic team, but he won all the gold medals for the women.
And then on the other side of that, I can't remember what I was watching the other day, but there was a chick, I think, from China or Japan that was disqualified from the Olympics because she was a genuine chick, but her testosterone level was too high.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like a superpower, really.
Yeah, to be considered female.
That's messed up. I don't know. Do you guys think they're mentally ill? Like, seriously, if you're born a girl and you want to be a guy or vice versa?
No. My theory, and I've had a transsexual on a podcast and I had a transgendered person on a podcast, and I've talked to both of them. And so my belief is, back in the day, you had men who were just effeminate. Yeah. Back in the day when men wore powdered wigs and big poofy shirts, they felt at home. Like, you know what, I'm cool. But then what happened is they want to be socially accepted, but they are effeminate and they want to embrace that femininity, but society won't let them just be effeminate men. So they try to find some sort of safe space, for lack of a better word, by claiming to be a woman so that society will accept them. But if society would just accept effeminate men as men, like, you know what, you go ahead, you listen to your music and you dress however you want to dress and talk however you want to talk and do whatever you want to do, you're still a man. And if that would happen, there would be no reason for men to claim to be women. They would just be effeminate men, and you wouldn't have women, because a lot of these transgendered people try to overcompensate. Like, they wear extremely, like, not all women wear dresses and big hoop earrings and eyeshadow. They wear like jeans and t-shirts, but a lot of these transgendered boys will wear dresses and hoop earrings. Like, they'll go extremely 10 out of 10 feminine to try to overcompensate, to try to prove, like, no, I'm a girl, but you're just you're a boy in a dress, and that's fine.
What about gender dysphoria? Do you think that's legitimate, or?
Well, I think that's all related. They're effeminate. They don't meet the cultural definition of masculine. So they feel, and also because of the male dominance instinct, they probably get picked on and beat up by other men. So they don't like masculinity. They don't necessarily like men, but they want to be accepted. So they're hoping that by embracing femininity, they'll find acceptance. But if you think about women's clothing, it's not made for the male body. Women's pants don't have that little pocket in the front for your dick and balls. So it's going to be.
They hardly ever have pockets in general. Fucking imagine having no pockets just for shit.
Right.
Just for change.
It's all a conspiracy by the person.
I suppose you got a handbag though. That'd be quite
big purse.
Yep.
But like, if men should be allowed to be as feminine as they want, because who gives a shit? They're men. If they want to dress and act a certain way, who gives a shit? But they shouldn't be forced to wear uncomfortable clothing. Like, if you like wearing women's clothing, like if you like pink clothes, who gives a shit? But there's no way I can see someone who's born with a dick enjoying wearing women's pants. Like, there's no way that's comfortable. And also,
hang on a sec. Some dudes like to get fucked up the ass. I mean, I can't imagine someone like getting fucked up
Do men have like a I like having my dick constricted in my pants fetish? I just I don't know. I like having my dick smooshed into my zipper, and I like fearing my ball sack being caught in it every time I zip my pants.
Yep.
I just don't see that being a thing.
I mean, I'll do that party trick where I tuck my fucking dick and balls between my legs, and so it looks like I've got a vagina. But that's just for the long.
Right. That's a little Silence of the Lambs fun right there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Now, what about that guy, that creature in Sydney that ended up smashing with an axe? He nearly killed it.
I saw that on your channel too. That was fucked.
What the fuck was that? Because when
she attacked the.
The dreadlocks saved her life. That was fucking lucky, wasn't it?
And I said she was like a social justice warrior. So it's ironic that the fucking one crazy SJW was trying to kill the other. I mean, I think, you know what, when they start taking all those drugs, that antidepressants, the side effects from taking antidepressants is committing suicide or, you know, doing some other fucked up shit. So when they're taking, isn't that
what happened to Alan Turing, right? He was a brilliant Alan Turing, he was like this brilliant gay scientist, and the government forced him to take estrogen, and he lost his mind and killed himself.
Why did the government force him to take estrogen?
Well, because it was like back in like World War II, before like tolerance. So they're like, "Oh, you're not gay. You're just a woman trapped in a man's body. Take this estrogen." I don't know.
Right, shit.
God. People be cray-cray.
Apparently, that happens in Iran. Like in Iran, apparently it's illegal to be gay, but it's not illegal to be a tranny. So gay dudes just become trannies.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. Like, I don't really think they even believe they're actually women trapped in men's bodies. I think they're just effeminate men who just want to be accepted. And if society would just, hey, yeah, you know, you're a man, you're cool. Like, hey, you want to play some video games?
They're going their transsexual way.
Hey, there's a question. Can a female to male tranny become a MGTOW?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know.
I think so.
Like we've had transsexual or transgendered men in MGTOW, because like if you look at, and this is a stupid example, but there was, you know, like these daytime talk shows like Jerry Springer or something like that. They'll have, you know how they have like, you know, these big shouting matches between men and women, and like the woman will slap the man, but the man is not allowed to slap the woman. But if they ever have like a tranny in a man, the man is allowed to slap the tranny and nobody cares because they aren't considered women.
Yeah.
So like gynocentrism doesn't allow, like if you're a transsexual or transgendered, you're not considered a real woman. So you get to suffer, and actually it's worse because not only do you get to suffer because of the gynocentrism, but men don't accept you either. So you're I
think it depends on how hot you are. I mean, like take Blair White for example. I mean, I've got no problem calling her a chick.
Yeah. If you ever go to jail, call me.
Oh fuck!
We'll meet in jail.
I'll meet you in shower stall number 4B.
No, you know what it is? It's a big compliment to Blair White from Turd Flinging Monkey. Take it from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm a filthy animal, so
she passed the Turing test.
She did. She passed the Turing test.
What about have you guys? Oh, you must have heard the term MGTOW. Men going.
Well, those are usually just black chicks who like resent being left behind by everyone.
Who? What are we talking about?
I thought you were talking about MGTOW. I'm sorry.
No. MGTOW with the H.
Well, that's just man going his own way. That's like basically someone who's.
So do you differentiate?
No, that's just the singular form of MGTOW. So you know, there's MGTOW as a group, and then there's a man going his own way, singular.
But I thought a MGTOW was like, no, fuck, I'm not going to the meeting, cunts. I'm not paying any membership. Fuck you.
Well, there's no membership. I mean, it's just a matter of like, you know, if you like our content, if it resonates with you, watch it. If not, watch someone else or do whatever you want. Who gives a shit? Have
you guys ever driven someone? Have you guys ever driven someone away from MGTOW and gone, no, you're a faggot. You're not joining.
I've never had anyone.
Not really. Well, I think Diana Davison has gotten shit, and this may play into your earlier question, because she's like fuck buddies with John the Other, but she's a woman, but she's like bisexual, so she identifies, I guess, I don't know, as I don't know what she identifies as, but she's pro-man and she puts out good content and she supports MGTOW. And for a while, people considered her a MGTOW channel, and people are like, no, no. No, she's not a man. She's not like that's like technically I'm not a MGTOW because I'm a monkey. So
Yep.
How good's Diana's rape joke of the week? I fucking love them.
they're they're hit or miss. They're hit or miss.
I've heard some fucking rippers though. I've heard some rippers.
Yeah.
What is
sometimes
this?
They're good.
What's this?
Diana Davidson on her channel.
Her channel's a feminism lol. You've never heard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does rape joke of the week. It's fucking
right.
awesome.
So she's like I guess a MGTOW ally, MGTOW supporter, but she's not a MGTOW. And I think that would be kind of the same thing if it was like a female to male transsexual or transgender. Like if it resonates with you, like maybe you're on hormones, you're starting to think more like a man, and also being transgender. But here's the thing: I don't think female to male transgendered. I think they're still considered women by society.
But what
really
about? I mean, should that be
really hurt by gynocentrism?
Should that be considered though? Because I mean, like, surely you're damaging your numbers. I mean, feminists take on cuck dudes, like feminists take on male feminists. So should you not be considering chicks?
Well, but even feminists consider them allies. They don't consider them real feminists. No, my point is, like, I think if you're a female to male transgender, society still considers you a woman, so you still benefit from gynocentrism.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're really like, what are you protesting? Like maybe you're just protesting the inequality of it, but I'm not particularly egalitarian, so I'm not necessarily fighting for equality anyway.
What are you? What are you? What do you consider yourself?
I'm a objectivist when it comes to. I think rights and freedom should be tied to responsibility. So if society decides that women have the responsibility level of a child, like two people get drunk and have sex, but the man raped the woman because women have no agency. If that's the society's take on female agency and female responsibility, fair enough. Then they should have the rights of a child as well. They shouldn't have.
That's so true.
They shouldn't be able to vote. They shouldn't be able to take a man's resources. Just like when you fire your nanny after working for you for 5 years, she doesn't get half your shit. You just, we paid you fairly. You enjoyed your time here, but your services are no longer required. Have a good life. But with a wife, like, hey, I appreciate you. We've been married for a couple years. Thanks for your time, but I'm going to take my dick somewhere else. No, give me half your stuff. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah. What's your take on fucking what Angry MGTOW and I were talking about the other day on women only having the right to vote should they sign up for the draft?
Oh yes. Okay. So really, it all comes down to responsibility. So women are not responsible for fighting in wars, defending their freedom. They never really earn their freedom, nor they're responsible for their freedom.
Yeah, but the rebuttal I had with Angry MGTOW is, I mean, sure, men have got to fight wars and all that, but historically, women have been the ones that make people, and men protect people, make sure they stay alive. So you don't think?
No, absolutely. No. It's not. It's not that it's not important, but I've had this argument several times, so I'm going to kind of recycle my argument to that. So, women have babies, and men do all the things. So they're both important, but you have to consider it the same way as like if you have a major company, you're going to have CEOs and you're going to have janitors. Now, the janitor is really important because you can't have shit all over the floor. You got to have the toilets working correctly. You got to have a janitor emptying the trash. These are important functions to have a healthy company. But the janitor is not equal to the CEO. He's not equally important. You shouldn't have the same rights and privileges in the company of the CEO. So
but hang on a second. If we're talking about in terms of the human race, going forward, then it's not really a janitor, CEO situation, is it? Because we've got equal roles in producing those new people.
Well, it depends. It depends how you look at it. So the average woman has let's say 2 kids, just to use round numbers. So she's going to be pregnant 18 months out of her life. She's going to be, if she decides to breastfeed, let's just put a cap on. Let's say she has these 2 kids fairly close together. Let's say 10 years. So from having a kid, raising the kid, sending it off to preschool, to having another kid and doing the same thing. So, and that's the average woman. So for about 10 years of her life, she's performing her reproductive function. She's benefiting humanity by having her babies. So congratulations. A man works from the age of 18 to 65. And often before and after that, men work longer and die sooner. They very rarely even benefit from all the money they've saved for retirement. It usually goes to their ex-wife or family.
Well, that's pretty much true, yeah. If you want to be, sorry to interrupt, if you, a man's purpose in this world is to basically become successful, work, and make money. That's the sole mission for man. That's how you become famous. That's how you get power. That's how you get women actually interested in you. If you're just nobody, no one gives a shit. So that's just the way it is.
There's different ways you can objectively measure the value of these services. So if you look at what a surrogate mother is paid, and I did a video on this a long time ago called Marriage, Divorce, and MGTOW, and I think the case for patriarchy, where I compared the actual economic input of being a prostitute, being a caregiver, being a surrogate mother. You can actually put dollar figures on all these services and determine exactly how much. And the thing is money may not be the best objective thing, but it's the best kind of metric we have of determining the relative value of things. Because in a free market, you know, you put things out there, how much is this service worth? And a woman's services are worth about 1/3 to 1/2 of what a man's services are worth. And this is just, I'm just talking about an average. So the average woman doing her role is worth about 1/2 of the man. So it's unfair, and it is not correct to say that they're equally valuable. A man is twice as valuable when it comes to family and society than a woman. It doesn't mean her role is not valuable at all.
When it comes to resources and wealth,
taken as a whole. Now, this isn't to diminish the importance of women's roles. You obviously need a woman to have a child. You need a woman to produce milk with her tits and stuff like that. But just taken as a whole, this whole idea of men and women are different but equal doesn't make any sense, and it could be demonstrably proven objectively, or disproven objectively.
Come on, man! You know, Johnny Depp was the shit cunt, and Amber Heard was like the star of the show. Now Elon Musk is just like trying to lure her for fame, and he's trying to gold dig his way into her pussy.
I suppose it all depends on. I mean, there's several angles you can approach the term worth on. I mean, and I think there's
value is subjective. So from just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, value is in the eye of the beholder. But just using the value of these services in the free market, which is the most objective way to measure goods and services, even if you don't agree with it, like obviously somebody in their 20s is going to value sex far more than someone in their 40s.
Exactly.
You know how you use prostitutes to calculate the value of sex?
Yes.
Did you include anal?
No. But you only get that on your birthday.
Oh man,
that's like a treat you give yourself.
I tried anal once. I didn't like it, so fuck that shit.
Yeah, well, I tried it on accident.
Hang on, was he not gentle with you or something, or was he?
Man, he was a bit too hairy. I don't know.
It happened to me once on accident. I was doing a chick doggy style, and it just kind of slipped out, and I thought I was like putting it back in, and it just went up her butt. And she didn't fight it or anything. She just kind of like and she kind of went limp. Like just like and I was like, oh man, that shit's tight. And then it turned out I was actually fucking her in the ass.
Seriously, most women hate anal. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Most women do not like anal sex.
I think most people. I mean, other than gay guys, I think
because they don't have a choice.
Aren't they? How can taking a cock up your ass be fun?
Man, exactly. When you got that constipated feeling, that's bad. So I don't know how guys would enjoy that shit. Yeah, that's it. So that's my verdict on anal sex. MGTOW do not approve of bearing.
Are they gay MGTOWs? Are they? I mean, I know there's a lot of people say,
they're gay because gynocentrism hurts gay men too. So of course there can be gay MGTOW. Now they obviously don't have to
look at fucking Milo. He's not MGTOW, but he's fucking.
He's not MGTOW, but
no, but I mean, are they accepted? Are they embraced?
Not by everybody. I mean, they are accepted by me. I'm like, yeah, you're MGTOW because it's about anti-gynocentrism and anti-marriage. So that you meet the bar, you're in the club. Now, not everybody considers that valid because they don't have to deal with women's hypergamy and women's bullshit. So some of them don't consider them true MGTOW. But those are the kind of people who say, like, you have to be a MGTOW monk to be a real MGTOW. And I don't agree with that either.
Yeah. Are you a MGTOW monk?
I am now, but that's not like.
It's 10:45.
Who was that? Was that a chick? What the fuck's going on here?
That was an alarm. Anyway, so like,
He's got a
chick in his bedroom.
No, my alarm is the Doritos screaming goat. So it wakes me up. No, I actually have a doctor's appointment. That's why I had the time to do this podcast, because usually I'd be at work. But so I gotta go. Shit, I want to make my final point.
Yeah, go on.
Damn it, my train of thought has been completely derailed.
Well, just no, spit it out. Just
no, I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about gay MGTOWs. Gay MGTOWs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Gay MGTOWs. They're MGTOWs as far as I'm concerned. I was probably going to go somewhere else with that, but my train of thought has been derailed. There were no survivors.
Fair enough. We'll pick it up. We'll pick it up another time. But I better shoot off as well. MGTOW 101.
All right.
But, thanks for having me.
Cool. No worries, boys. All right, Daring. I'll talk to you later on.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
all right. Take care. Bye.
All right. So, where were we before we got interrupted?
Well, I actually do have an appointment. That's why I was
as well. Yeah.
I was free to. Yeah, so I got to go too.
I got to get up in like 4 hours.
You got to get some sleep.
Come screw tomorrow.
We all got things.
I need some drugs.
Congratulations on your 40K subs.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yep. Man, we gotta do more of this. Yeah. It's we're just gonna find a time to.
Yeah. No. Good times. All right. So thanks everyone. Sorry I couldn't monitor the chat. I was watching the chat. I just, you know, it's hard for me to do two things. This is why I usually like to have a guest on the stream to kind of monitor the chat with me. But
exactly.
At least you could see the comments in the stream itself, so they're not completely lost.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. No worries. All right, dude. I'll let you go. I'm gonna head to bed. And thanks everyone else for watching and just joining in.
All right. Yeah. Cue the cat playing the keyboard.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
See you, mate. Bye.